Welcome, Raider Nation and my champions. Well, we are getting our asses handed to us. 21-0 here at halftime, and I'm telling you what, I said this would be our toughest challenge, and I said we could not play like we did against Miami, and I think we're actually playing even worse than we did against Miami. I think the Chargers have a pass rush, but let's get into it right now. We'll get into the rundown right now. So if you're new here, welcome here. If you're new here, this is how we do it here. I have what I call the rundown here, and I go over the topics I want to talk about. And usually during the halftime, I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to amend that a little bit as I go on, but you'll know what I'm talking about here. The first thing I want to talk about, I'll say this is good, and this is very optimistic. At least in the beginning, we had the blackout there. The fans are there. Unfortunately, there's not much to really cheer about, especially after the first about 4 or 5 minutes. Casey Hayward was making a few plays, and then Hunter Renfrow on that fake punt sniffed it out. It's probably the best we can probably talk about with the team. I appreciate you guys coming out. I see Sandy B here. I see Juanito here. AJ is here. Welcome. Wesley John, how are you doing? And anybody else who's listening who isn't in the chat, what I do is I go through the rundown. If you have any questions regarding the game, we'll have a question and answer session, and then we'll go over that after I go through the rundown here. So that's about as far as I could go with the good. If, does it say I'm buffering? Do you guys hear me? Well, that makes sense. We're kind of having a blackout with the game. Might as well have a blackout with the live stream as well. You know what I'm saying? So I would say there was little to no pass rush until the very end. But I'm going to say as far as the bad goes, I put AATO. I'm going to say it's all about the offense. And that includes John Gruden. The play calling's very predictable, per usual with him. I've complained about it often. I'm not even going to complain about it anymore. Derek Carr starting to get that happy feet Derek Carr look when he gets pressured. We've been seeing that, and my cutting in and out. It says I'm on. Let me see. Let's see real quick. Let me turn this down. I might be a little bit louder than I normally am, but. Can you hear me now better? Do you hear me better? Let me know. Let me know. I'll keep talking. And then I put you played yourself. I mean, this is the entire team. I mean, we go and we hang on. I mean, this is from the standpoint of we have a total of 19 rushing yards against the team that has the worst rushing defense. We was giving up 510 yards in 3 games. We can't run the ball at all. We're making Jerry Tillery look like an all-pro, and he was a first-round bust. Covington, a backup defensive end. Covington is a backup defensive end, and we can't even block him with Colton Miller. I don't understand this. So, I was gonna say, hang on. I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. I was gonna say as far as the ugly is the ESPN crew. Now, basically these guys, if you were here, there was a delay for lightning, and we're in a dome. I don't understand why we have that. It's crazy, number one. Number two, you got these bozos out here. I was going to kind of go into that as far as them talking about giving Derek Carr a contract, and they didn't know what they were talking about as far as, you know, he has 2 years left, and then Schefter kind of corrected Steve Young, but he kind of doubled down on it anyway. He's a moron. He was a good quarterback in his day, but he's an absolute moron now. Has no clue what he's talking about, but I don't even want to dwell on that. As far as the keys to the game, I talked about it being a SoCal blackout, and it was, and the crowd was loud. They cheered the Raiders when they came in. They booed the Chargers when they came in. But frankly, there hasn't been much to cheer about for the Raider Nation. Max Crosby hasn't done much of anything against Storm Norton. Now, granted, Justin Herbert has a very quick release. I would say near Dan Marino-like quick release. That's a good reason why he hasn't been sacked that often. Only 5 sacks for the whole year, but still not a whole lot of pressure. Their line did miss a couple of assignments. Keenan Allen's been kind of relatively been kept in check, but I think the big thing is there's been times where Herbert's had a lot of time in the pocket and they could just pick us apart. And then right here, the running game. The running game is atrocious. Like I said, Josh Jacobs, 8 rushing attempts for 19 yards against the worst rushing defense. Absolute failure right there. Hunter Renfrow dropped a pass. Like I said, Carr's trying to hit him short. He's getting the happy feet. He's missing a couple. Overall, the team looks terrible. This is the worst I've seen the Raiders play all year by a mile. And honestly, we should be down by more than 21 points. I was thinking we should have been down 14, 17, nothing in the first quarter, the way they were playing. And it's ridiculous. Now, what I usually do is I go through real quick and do the NFL recap. Now, I'm going to go through this real quick. I don't really feel like even